headlines, Minister of Foreign Affairs concludes his first official visit to New Delhi. The Foreign Minister departs for the United Arab Emirates on an official visit. And thousands of students return to school on Sunday after the 15-day midterm break. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Utma Mahmood. Looking into the details, Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Abdullah Halil concludes his first official visit to New Delhi, marking a significant step in strengthening the bilateral relations between the Maldives and India. During his visit to India, Minister Halil met with India's Minister of External Affairs Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar. The two ministers reviewed the entire spectrum of bilateral relations and discussed new areas for future collaboration, highlighting the close bonds of friendship between the two countries. Minister Halil expressed his appreciation to the Government of India for its support and assistance in easing the fiscal challenges faced by the Maldives. Highlighting that this year marks the 60th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the Maldives and India, Minister Halil underscored the importance of this milestone. The minister also underlined that India is an important partner to the Maldives, describing the relationship as one based on respect, trust and close friendship. He acknowledged India's consistent support during times of crisis, noting that India is often the first to respond. Speaking at the meeting, Dr. Jaishankar echoed these sentiments, stating that India's swift response and assistance to the Maldives in times of need are a testament to the close bilateral relations. He warmly welcomed Minister Halil, noting that he was the first foreign diplomat Dr. Jaishankar had met this year. Reiterating India's commitment under the Neighbourhood First policy, Dr. Jaishankar assured that India remains steadfast in its support for the Maldives. He highlighted the financial assistance and essential goods provided to the Maldives, reinforcing the partnership between the two countries. Dr. Jaishankar also noted that President Dr. Mohammad Muiz's official visit to India in October last year further enhanced the bond between the two nations. A significant outcome of that visit was the signing of a currency swap agreement, facilitating the use of local currency for business transactions and increasing cooperation in other areas. During his visit, Minister Halil signed the High Impact Community Development Projects HICDP MOU, launching the third phase of project-based cooperation aimed at directly benefiting people at the grassroots level. He also visited the High Commission of Maldives in India. Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Abdullah Halil departs for the United Arab Emirates, UAE, on an official visit, responding to an invitation extended by Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs of the UAE. During his visit, Dr. Halil will engage in high-level discussions with Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan to enhance bilateral relations, review the broad spectrum of bilateral cooperation, and explore avenues for future cooperation. The Foreign Minister will also have meetings with other dignitaries of the UAE government to explore collaborative initiatives focusing on fostering partnerships and advancing mutual interests. The Foreign Ministry in a statement said that this visit reflects the enduring bilateral relationship between the Maldives and the UAE and highlights shared aspirations for development, innovation and prosperity. Fishing is the third largest economic activity in the Maldives. However, until recently, the significant challenges faced by the industry has not been adequately addressed by any administration. Major concern for years has been the difficulty fishermen face in receiving timely payment for their catch. While the current administration under President Dr. Mohammad Muiz has pledged to address this issue and pay fishermen for their catch within 48 hours of fish purchase, critics have questioned the feasibility of this promise. However, the administration has delivered on this pledge with President Dr. Muiz announcing the pledge as successfully fulfilled on Fishermen's Day 2024. Since then, fishermen have consistently received payments within the promised 48-hour time frame. The current administration will undoubtedly go down in history as the administration to bring about transformative changes to the fisheries sector within its first in office. This administration has increased fishermen's participation and contributions to the sector through Maldives Industrial Fisheries Company Limited, MIFCO, which has been upgraded as a 100% government-owned company. Efforts are also ongoing to compile a national registry of fishermen. Within the first year of administration, a 100% government-owned company designated for promoting fish products and increasing fishing sector revenue has also been established. While it is also a pledge of the government to train one rescue diver for every fishing boat, 56 rescue divers, one each for 56 boats, have already been successfully trained in the first batch as part of the Week 14 roadmap. The government has also designated 4 areas as mariculture development zones. The current administration's manifesto has emphasized that every fisherman will be recognized by the government. As part of these efforts, loan facilities are now available for grouper fishery and the installation of RSW systems on fishing vessels to address the issue of ice shortage. The primary challenge faced in getting the best benefit from the fisheries industry is the lack of capacity to store and process fish in the Maldives. The Ministry of Fisheries and Ocean Resources under President Muiz's government is giving special priority to increase the fish storage capacity to 25,000 tons over the next 5 years and establishing more fish processing plants. Building human capacity in the fisheries sector is also a high priority for the government. A special college under the Maldives National University, MNU, is being established to commence fisheries-related courses under efforts to equip the youth with skills and knowledge required to advance the industry. The government in 2024 took major strides towards improving and enhancing healthcare services in the island nation. Several initiatives had been launched as the administration looks to plug the long-standing gaps in the healthcare system.
The highlight of 2024 was the long overdue step to reform the Universal Health Insurance Scheme ASANDA to improve services and ensure sustainability. The scheme has now been streamlined to offer maximum benefits to the needy in a bid to cut down on years of wastage. In addition, Darumawanta Hospital along with the Hulumale Hospital has been upgraded to a tertiary level hospital with additional services. To complement the upgrade, the administration has now earmarked 5 more hospitals including a specialized thalassemia hospital and a cancer hospital for this year. The cancer hospital will be developed on the land adjacent to Darumawanta Hospital in Male City, where the concept and design of the first phase of the 25-story building have already been completed. To ensure food safety, a Food Safety Act was enacted for the first time in the country's history, which has further empowered the Maldives Food and Drug Authority (MFDA) to ensure more monitoring and oversight. Other important initiatives taken by the government include the launch of the National Mental Health Helpline 1677, which provides 24-hour services to ensure mental health. In addition, laboratory services have commenced in 76 more islands previously lacking the basic services. Furthermore, the introduction of IVF treatment under ASANDA for the first time also remains a key highlight of last year. But the most significant step taken by the government towards a healthier society remains the clampdown on tobacco products. The administration has increased taxes on tobacco, while a nationwide ban on vape products and electronic cigarettes was imposed last year. The government has also raised the minimum age of selling tobacco products to 21 years. In 2024, the ASANDA Reform Initiative included the bulk procurement of high-quality prescription medicine. The launch of air ambulance service to airlift critical patients in the atolls is also among a host of initiatives launched by this administration last year to improve and enhance the healthcare system of the country.
Thousands of students returned to school on Sunday after the 15-day midterm break. According to the Ministry of Education, the second session of the academic year has begun in all schools across the country. The second term will continue until 6th March, which coincides with the holy month of Ramadan. The 2024 academic year commenced in May with over 96,000 students. According to the ministry, 162 out of the 217 government schools will be single-session schools, while 55 schools will be operated in dual sessions. Additionally, 6 schools will implement satellite teaching. The 2025 academic year is scheduled to commence on April 6, with teachers starting their preparation works from April 3rd onwards. The first term holidays are from July 28 to August 7, with the second term set to start on August 10. However, students will be having a mid-term break during the second term from September 21st to 25th. With this, the second term concludes on December 25 and the year-end holidays will officially begin on December 28. The annual holiday will last till January 22nd, and the academic year of 2026 is slated to commence on January 27. The academic year and holidays were shifted to June-July in 2021, following a 1-year and 6-month delay of the 2020 academic year prompted by the COVID-19 pandemic. However, as this period coincides with a rainy monsoon, public concerns were raised as there were significant challenges for families to travel and enjoy their holidays. The decision to shift the year-end holidays was taken against 70% backing the move in a public poll. During the presidential elections campaign, citizens requested President Dr. Mohammad Muiz to address this issue and change the academic calendar as to how it was before. After the president assumed office, he made the decision to gradually move the commencement date of the new academic year back to the beginning of the year. This policy shift will take full effect starting 2026. Maldives records a 9% increase in tourist arrivals in 2024 in comparison to the previous year. The world-renowned tourist destination has witnessed the highest number of tourist arrivals in a single year in its 52nd year of tourism history. According to tourism figures, a total of 2,047,435 tourists had holidayed in the Maldives in 2024. This is a 9% increase from the 1,878,543 tourists from 2023. This marks the first time Maldives has welcomed 2 million tourists to its shores in a calendar year. The island nation had broken several national records to cross the 2 million mark, including the month with the highest number of tourist arrivals in February, with 217,392 tourists. According to the Ministry of Tourism, the top tourist source markets in 2024 are China, Russia, the UK, Germany, and Italy. More than 200,000 tourists had arrived from China and Russia, while over 100,000 tourists had visited from the UK, Germany, and Italy. The government aims to improve tourism occupancy and bring in 15% more tourists this year than last year, while boosting tourism revenue to $5 billion. The Waste Management Corporation Limited, WEMCO, reverses its previous decision to integrate garbage collection fees into electricity bills in the atolls. In an announcement, WEMCO stated that it has cancelled its earlier decision to combine household waste collection service bills together with another utility service bill. According to the corporation, the decision was made following a recommendation from President Dr. Mohammad Muiz. WEMCO clarified that only customers registered with the Corporation for Waste Collection Services will now be billed separately. All fee collection will be handled by WEMCO offices in the islands, and payments can also be made via the Hours Pay application. WEMCO fees have been integrated into Stelco electricity bills in Male area since April 2023. While this arrangement has allowed for timely payments for WEMCO services, the corporation said it has provided a financial relief to the corporation. Although WIMCO was providing garbage collection services to 53,000 households in the Male area, only 20,000 households were paying for registered services in Male before the bill time came into effect. The corporation has said it continues to bear significant financial burdens to ensure essential basic services are provided to citizens at the most affordable rates. The National Disaster Management Authority (NDMA) announces that its teams will commence visits to properties in Male to evaluate the damage caused by flooding following continuous rainfall on Thursday and Friday. This announcement coincides with the Maldives Meteorological Service Met Office forecasting severe weather conditions in the northern and central regions of the country over the next 24 hours. During the severe weather on Thursday and Friday, the heaviest rainfall was recorded in the capital, Male City. The intense precipitation resulted in widespread flooding across large areas of the city, with floodwaters infiltrating residential properties and commercial establishments. Consequently, both residences and businesses, including retail outlets, experienced damage to household items and merchandise. Additionally, the flooding caused significant damage to vehicles on the streets. The NDMA reported that residents of 36 properties in Male received assistance following the damage to their properties and household items. Temporary shelters were also provided to the residents of these 36 houses, where they can stay for a 2-day period. Teams of NDMA will visit properties where substantial damage was reported to conduct assessments. The NDMA stated that those who were relocated to temporary shelters are currently working on restoring their properties to normal and livable conditions. Residents have been given 2 days to report details of the damage sustained by their properties and household items. Following Sunday's assessment, the NDMA will determine the type and level of further assistance required. According to the NDMA, flooding has rendered some properties unable to cook and prepare meals, while others have reported extensive damage to furniture and household items. These issues will be thoroughly assessed on Sunday. In the outer outlines affected by severe flooding, respective local councils are working to identify the damage sustained by properties and household items. The NDMA also noted that in recent years, property damage due to seasonal rains has been increasing. According to the Met Office, the severe weather conditions are caused by a circulation formed southeast of Sri Lanka. While the Met Office indicated that the stormy conditions are expected to pass by Monday, it also warned that severe weather conditions are anticipated in the next 24 hours. The Met Office notes that this intensity of this circulation is gradually decreasing. U.S. stocks rebounds as investors neared the end of a holiday-shortened week that also rang in of New Year, which brought with it expectations of additional Federal Reserve rate cuts and policies favoring businesses from the incoming administration.
A broad rally sent all 3 major U.S. stock indexes to a higher close, with mega-cap growth companies such as Tesla and Nvidia providing much of the muscle to the upside and putting the tech-heavy Nasdaq out front. Alexis Investment Partners President Jansen Brown said that a little bounce was natural as the month has been rough.
I mean, it's been a rough, month really. So it's natural that we get a bit of bounce. I'm hoping that we're kind of working through a bottoming process here. I think in general we're just sort of working things off. I don't expect anything to get too terrible in terms of this current pullback that we're having.
He added that December was a give-back month and that it is continuing so far into early January.
December kind of was a give-back month. That's continuing so far into early January. We're getting a nice bounce here. Whether we really need to get back above 6,000 on the S&P, for example, above the 50-day moving average, and kind of show that we can hold there. And then I think the uptrend will resume.
Even so, all 3 indexes posted modest declines for the week, with the S&P 500 logging its 3rd weekly loss in 4. The S&P 500 gained 73.92 points or 1.26% to end at 5,942.47 points, while the Nasdaq Composite gained 340.88 points or 1.77% to 19,621.68. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 339.86 points or 0.80 points to 42,732.13.
At least 17 Palestinians were killed and others injured on Friday in Israeli airstrikes targeting 5 homes and civilian gatherings in the Gaza Strip. 3 Palestinians were killed and others injured in an attack near Balul Junction in Sheikh Radwan, west of Gaza City. The Palestinian Civil Defense in Gaza reported recovering the bodies of 2 Palestinians and 2 injured individuals after a strike in Khirbat al-Das, north of Rafah. In central Gaza, a medical source confirmed that 5 Palestinians were killed in an Israeli airstrike on a house, a tent, and a civilian gathering in Deir al-Balah. The source also reported that 3 Palestinians, including a journalist, were killed and others injured when a drone struck a house in the Al-Sawahra area north of Zawaida. 2 more Palestinians were killed and others wounded when a drone targeted a home south of the Nuseirat refugee camp. A woman succumbed to injuries from an airstrike on a family home in Nuseirat late Thursday night. Eyewitnesses reported Israeli artillery shelling in northern Al-Bureij, west of the new camp, and eastern areas of Nuseirat. In Gaza City, a Palestinian was killed and others were injured in an airstrike targeting an apartment near Abdul Al Junction on Al-Jalal Street, according to a medical source. Eyewitnesses also reported that Israeli naval forces shelled Gaza's coastline and opened fire toward homes along the shore. In northern Gaza, the Israeli army continued its intense offensive in various areas. Eyewitnesses reported demolition of homes west of Jabalia camp, where massive explosions were also heard. On Thursday, Gaza's government media office stated that the Israeli army had conducted 34 airstrikes over the past 24 hours, targeting unarmed civilians across the region. These strikes killed 71 Palestinians and injured dozens more. Despite a UN Security Council resolution calling for an immediate ceasefire, the Israeli army has continued a genocidal war on Gaza that has killed more than 45,550 victims, mostly women and children, since a Hamas attack on October 7, 2023. In November 2024, the International Criminal Court issued arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant for war crimes and crimes against humanity in Gaza. Israel also faces a genocide case at the International Court of Justice for its deadly war on Gaza. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola says must assess playmaker Kevin De Bruyne's fitness and form before deciding on his contract extension, with the current deal expiring in June. The 33-year-old Belgian has scored 2 goals and provided 2 assists this season. His goal and assist in City's 3-0 home win over Nottingham Forest last month are his only contributions since he returned to action in November after a hamstring injury. City have just 2 wins in 14 matches across all competitions. They broke a 7-game winless run with a Forest win early in December and went another 5 games without a win before beating Leicester City 2-0 away last weekend. The run of poor form has left them 6th with 31 points from 19 games, trailing leaders Liverpool by 14 points. Goalkeeper Addison, defenders John Stones, Ruben Dias and midfielder Matheus Nunes all missed City's win over Leicester. Speaking of reinforcement in the January transfer window, Guardiola remained vague, saying the club has to be wise.
I don't know right now. It's not easy. It will not be easy. And maybe we sign, and maybe we don't sign anyone. So I think the club has to be wise. Don't do it for do it. just to add players, of course, for the situation that we have and put a perspective for the players that are injured for consistent injuries for many time. Of course, the club has to do it, but I don't know, it will be possible to do it.
West Ham in 13th place are also without striker Michael Antonio after he suffered a broken leg in a car accident last month. The Hammers were unbeaten in 4 league games before being thrashed 5-0 by Liverpool last week. They are without forward Jarrod Bowen, their top scorer this season, after the skipper fractured his left foot in the Liverpool game. That's it for now. Thank you for watching. Have a pleasant day ahead. Bye-bye.